Okay, YouTubers, alien hunters and space detectives. Today we are looking at the moon, and this particular image from Apollo 17, links will be below for all these images as usual. This one was taken in 1972 and is from magazine 151, and there's the number AS17 151-23186. Okay, links will be below for this so you can download it yourself. I recommend the largest one. You can get it at 4400 by 4600. Good quality, high-res image, 300 pixels per inch. Nice. Okay, nice to work with. A lot nicer than many of the NASA images of Mars that we get, especially the rover images, which are pretty poor, most of them. I'll put this page up in the links as well for you. Apollo 17, just for any of you that don't know about it, it's worth looking up here. A lot of people said we never landed on the moon. We did on many occasions, and we are even going to go back to the moon apparently if we can persuade the aliens to let us build some stuff there. Perhaps they will, who knows. Right, without further ado, let's get on with it. Let's get to the folder. Now, the area I'm looking at in this image is this big crater here, which is sort of right over to the right and not quite halfway up. It's about a third of the way up, just here where my cursor is. So without further ado, let's get on with it because I don't want to take all day. Now, let's show the raw image first. Here we are, the JPEG. Now, when you look at these JPEGs, most of the moon images are either too dark and you can't see anything, or they're too bright and you still can't see anything. This one's kind of in between. It's not too bad, and it's lacking shadow. Now, if you want to see any of the shapes in this area, or in any moon image really, what you have to do is darken it and add a bit of contrast to bring out some of these shapes, because you're not going to see a lot. Even when you let your eyes adjust, it's really hard. But what you can see here, in this, on the edge of this crater here, is a massive, strange looking structure here with something here, like a square thing. Let's get a bit closer. A square structure there, and a snake-like structure coming off the back of it. So let's have a look at the enhancements. I've taken some clips. Here's the raw clip. Doesn't look like much until you add some contrast, okay? Which I've done here. There we are. Now that's just, I've grayscaled it as well to get rid of, because it goes a weird sort of greenish colour, sort of greeny grey, sort of weird colour if you don't grayscale it. So grayscale it and then play with the contrast, and you'll probably get better results. You can see, even in a basic enhancement I've done here, you can see that structure sticking up, and this weird square thing here sticking up as well, which seems to be joined to that. Then there's a massive kind of pipe-like structure that comes off to the back here, and there seem to be legs also here, okay? Now, I'm not going to run through all of these now because I'll put more of these clips in at the end. I'm going to show you the final enhancement I did, which is much brighter and a bit darker as well. More contrast. Here it is. Now, I don't know what this is, but it doesn't look like a natural structure. Not only do you have these weird structures here, which I haven't highlighted at all actually. I could probably sharpen those a bit. And you got these here coming out of this kind of long pipe structure coming up to this kind of square thing, and then this kind of goes back round to there, and this goes up, and there's a kind of tallish structure there. There's also something behind it which doesn't show that well in this image here, because I've darkened it quite a lot. I've added lots of contrast, so we're losing some of the background detail here, but there's loads of weird stuff behind. Now, a lot of it is pixelation, but there are structures here, and this, particularly this thing here, does not look natural. It looks completely artificial to me. I can't see how it can be explained any other way, really. I mean, it's got this weird thing sticking up here, and when you get in too close, it kind of breaks up a bit, but you can see how it's kind of joined and comes around here to here, then up to here, and then you've got this other part. It almost looks like some kind of massive mechanical kind of device where it kind of joins here, and then you've got a kind of leg coming down and another leg here, almost like a massive kind of robotic kind of mining machine or something. It almost looks like something that's climbing out or climbing into the crater. It's very, very strange indeed. I really don't know what to make of it. I will do some more enhancements of this. What I'll do is I'll highlight it, the area that I'm showing you here. I'll highlight the whole thing in a different colour so it stands out a bit better, because I know some of you are probably using mobile devices, so I'll do that for you. So that was basically it, really. I mean, there are some other things in this Apollo image, but most of them are too far away or too small to actually make out. And once you know this thing is here, once you've seen the enhancement, once you know where to look, you can see it in the raw image. You just have to let your eyes adjust to the level of luminosity here and the lack of shadow. But there's some other weird little craters here. I'm sure some of these other things are not just normal craters. But that was the most obvious, and I always try and focus on the largest, more obvious structures that could be seen. It's almost pointless. I mean, that looks like a little building here, actually. Is that a building? It's there. Perhaps I'll enhance that a bit differently, because what you often have to do is do a few enhancements of the area. I've got some more here a bit further to the left, showing this box structure a bit more. This is a bit closer in this end. And you can actually see this out the back of the crater here. This is the edge of the crater. You go up, you've got this weird thing here. But this hasn't been enhanced much, but you can see another thing, another square thing here, almost, joined to this long straight structure at the back. And if you look at it in this one, you can't see it so well because it's too dark. I've gone in too dark, but you can see there's something there, here. It comes along here. And there's also some weird structures here. What this triangular thing is, I have no idea. I've only just spotted that. Wow, what the hell's that? You got this weird triangle here, see? So there are some artificial structures here. Mother Nature doesn't make triangles, not as far as I know. And this does to me look like some kind of machine or some kind of weird structure that may be pumping water or air in or out of this crater. Who knows? Absolutely no idea. Pure speculation. Very odd indeed. So I won't hold you too much longer. I'm just going to show you very quickly how I do that. And just for any of you that like to see my playlist, I did put a playlist together the other day, a brand new one called How to Enhance or How to Clean Up Mars Images and stuff like that, or NASA Images I think it's called. So you can check that out in my playlist. It's the most recent one. If you're a budding sort of space detective and you want to be able to enhance these images, there's lots of videos, about 20 videos I've done so far, which show you how I do it. It's really simple. I'll show you very quickly. I always enlarge the image, add lots of pixels to it by a factor of 10, and then add a little bit of blur, about 1.5 I do for this one, and then all I do is add loads and loads of contrast. With moon images, they're very bleached out. You have to add quite a serious amount of contrast to push out these shapes. And I haven't grayscaled this, so it's going a sort of green colour. They often do this. But you can see those shapes. When you really darken it, you can see those shapes there. They're definitely there. That's too dark. What I would do now is probably grayscale it to get rid of that green. And then go in a bit darker, but not quite that much. -10. +10. Now start to add some brightness. +15, +15. This is all I do. And I just keep doing that up and down until it looks like I can see the shapes that are there. You can see them already, look. You can see that square thing. You can see this thing here. So that's all you really have to do, but to really do it carefully, you've got to not rush it like I just did and take your time and get just the right settings, and it will push out some of these shadows more. There's also a really cool thing on the PaintShop Pro called the Clarify tool, which actually saves a lot of time as well. That really helps. It's a bit subtle, but I often use that, and that will push these shadows and make these things stand out. I don't know if you get this on Photoshop, but I really like it. I think it's really handy. You see how it's pushing those shadows out? That's all I do. So there we are. I will do some more. Like I said, I'll highlight this in a different colour so you can see it better. Here's that final edit I did here. There we are. What do you think? It kind of looks better in this program than it does in Windows Photo Viewer, because this is higher resolution. So there we are. What is it? It doesn't look normal. It doesn't look like just a plain old crater. You've got these legs sticking down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. You've got 3 or 4 there. You've got this odd shaped thing that's kind of like a weird sort of robot dome shaped thing here, with a leg sticking down there and a leg sticking out here, with a tube coming out here, going up to there. Absolutely insane. And the structure behind it looks kind of weird as well. I'll see if I can pull those out a bit more for you, because these images are difficult to get your head around. They're really sort of grungy, but what you're looking at is a structure here which is miles and miles across. This is absolutely huge. To show up in this detail from 50 miles up above the surface of the moon, this is massive, absolutely huge. These structures are absolutely enormous. I would say this is a couple of miles, 2 or 3 miles across from one end to the other, this crater. So this is huge, absolutely huge. So there we are. I think I'll call it a day there. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out these playlists that I've got here. I've got, you can click on those in a minute. There'll be links to these playlists at the end of this video. You can check out the moon buildings and mega structures videos. That would be in one playlist. There's also this other moon playlist here, which has got some of Mike Zoet-Mulder's work here, which is astonishingly good 3D renditions of some of the structures that I've found on both Mars. No, sorry, on the moon. These are mostly moon structures, but there is one I made. I made a model of one of the structures on Mars. I hope to be doing some more of that soon when I have time, but it's a question of time. So check these out. So check those playlists out. You can see some of these crazy, insane details on some of these structures that we've got here. I mean, this is one of my favorites here. I mean, it's absolutely insane. The amount of detail he's pulled out. This one here is also amazing as well. The giant moon machine. So if you haven't watched these videos, I do advise it. Even if you don't believe there are any structures on the moon, which there are, these are amazing shapes to look at anyway, and stunning, absolutely stunning. So great stuff there by Mike from the US. So many thanks to him again for doing these for me. I think a couple of years ago now. He has done work for NASA in the past on certain parts of their, well, as an engineer, he's done some of the subcontracting work for some of the equipment they have. So there we have it. There will be a link below to this Apollo archive. I do recommend that. Some really good quality images. Like I said, I always try and go for the images that are looking across the moon and not straight down, because you can actually see things sticking up, okay? So if you haven't joined already, come along to Mars Magazine page, totally free. You get the free mobile app when you join up, which is absolutely incredible. It's got loads, got all the research links you need to do this kind of space detective work. And check out, like I said, check out my video playlist on how to enhance images and clean them up. That will be very useful to you if you're going to do anything like this and become an alien hunter. So there we are. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please give the thumbs up and share on social media if you can. I will see you soon.